Good evening, folks. Welcome to ZSR2 and welcome to a nice, wonderful weekend of pure action on ZSR. Starting right now on ZSR2 with the Link to the Past All Dungeons RMG monthly race. We have a nice, cozy race of two people, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see what a fun matchup we're going to have between Mr. Bayer and JD, or rather Radiant Silvergun. And comps will be provided by Chex Human and by Railkin. Take it away. It's all yours.
All right, thank you, Trez. Hey guys, we got ourselves two racers in this race, and they're both here on the restream. Radiant Silvergun, or as we're going to call him, JD, and Mr. Bayer, two well-known glitch runners in both the speedrun and in the rando community. And I'm joined here in the booth here by Chex Human, a very good glitch runner and glitch rando player. How are you doing, Chex?
Good, thank you. How are you, Railkin? Thank you for saying I'm very good. I appreciate that.
Well, you know, you are the expert, and so I have to give you my regards.
Regards to you as well.
Okay, I appreciate it. I just defer to you. I just defer to you on anything that I don't know about.
Right. Well, there's so much not to know about this game, but there is a lot to know, and we're talking glitches today. So
yeah.
we've got an all dungeons race, one of the main leaderboard categories, and we race it monthly. So here we are.
Yeah. So I believe both of the runners do what is, I think, known as Requiem route, where we use the Cane Samaria in a later part of the speedrun, but early on we get ourselves the pod big key and cave state, but then we leave the dungeon after we get the hammer, and we come back later with the Cane Samaria to go open the pod big key door, because the only way to open it after we get that big key in cave state is to come back in cave state and do what's called basement clip, which is very hard.
It is. It's sort of I don't know what to say about it, but it came out in 2020 thanks to Yuzuhara, and Yuzuhara got a world record in this category in 2021, and it was pretty hard to beat. No one seriously attempted it for quite a few years.
Yeah, it was one of those things people are like, yeah, this is so hard and not worth it to go for, it feels like, so no one just no one did it. But then we had some well, I guess the one exception to that was DoomTap within the last year. Just practiced it like crazy and got it on the harder version of it. But more recently than that was like I said, Requiem route. That's another runner named Requiem of Spirit who came up with that Cane Samaria basement clip version, and it simplifies it a lot. It's slower, but it is a lot. It is a lot more risk free.
Yeah. Right. There are ways to get through this category without losing too much time if you don't use the basement clip. But like you said, it's much more accessible now.
Yeah. But before we do any of that, we are starting the race, by the way, here soon. So we are getting going. We have the very first trick of the game, and it's one of those finicky things that it's an easy reset point, what we call lonk state, or if you include Uncle Jump, but like you don't have to. we jump off a ledge and we save and quit in midair to arm EG, as we call it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we take damage in a courtyard entering the castle door at a specific point on the stairs. And that puts us in a state called lonk state, where we cannot swing our sword, and we walk very awkwardly. When we use that, going on top of the castle, walking to the barrier to put us in to activate EG. And then we can use that to get out of the castle with our sword and with our sword in hand. That's going to be very important, because that lets us get to Eastern faster and get the boots faster.
And our runners start, and they pick up the lamp, since they're going to Eastern, they need the lamp. They want the lamp, that is.
Yeah. There's essentially zero reason to not go ahead and pick it up.
Yeah. So as we approach the Lonk glitch, do you think our runners will use select buffers?
I think since this just is a race scenario, I would expect to see some.
Yeah, very possible.
I know in my PB attempts, I don't select buffer it.
Mm-hmm. I didn't start doing that until RMG League.
Same.
So, it's sort of a newer habit.
Yeah, I said Uncle Jump earlier. It's a hard trick that you can do to make this part of the setup faster, where we hop off a ledge. It's a very annoying trick. Oh, JD missing the save and quit. There we go.
Oh, I've been there.
Just tried to press down too fast and then pressed A right after, assuming you got the down press.
All right, Bayer back in the courtyard, so he's going to hit a guard away. He'll get into position, and let's see where... Oh, he looked a little higher than the typical pixel, but still good. So,
I don't like the position that JD's in.
Yeah,
Okay.
JD has gone pretty far to the left, which it makes it a bit more inconsistent. They're going to restart anyway, and now they're getting in position.
A nice little
Meanwhile,
back up there. I like
yeah,
it.
that was a good way. That was a good way to deal with it. Yeah. Very good. And Bayer is going left. Bayer was getting an early bottle.
Okay, I guess I was wrong. This is the world record route.
Yeah. I am always expecting something of a surprise when watching Mr. Bayer. So obviously I'm not surprised.
Oh, they're both
Wait,
going
JD
world
too.
record route. What the heck?
Yeah, I think I was familiar with JD keeping the route as the Requiem meta developed. But Bayer I didn't remember. So here we are, of course. So we probably will not see 3 entries into darkness. We'll probably see 2.
Hopefully.
In other words, 2 Kiki skips.
Hopefully we will see a total of 4 pod trips this race.
Yeah.
Across both runners in total. All right. This is the first, I guess, quote-unquote scary part. Technically, you do not want to go too far left on the screen after doing that. Yeah, you can, I guess.
Wait, save and quit when?
Like, whenever you did that screen wrap there to go to Eastern screen, can you still save and quit and retain your bottle? Or do you lose your bottle?
Yeah, but not if you infinite scroll. You can't save anything.
No, I mean, if you realize you went too far left or something.
Oh, yes,
yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would just lonk again to escape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And we saw JD get the bug catching net. One advantage of having a bottle is you get to use it for safety. All right, so we saw JD being careful, not going too far to the left. So when they went up, they didn't quite get the nudge, but it was still safe. So they were able to continue and then nudge into place. And we have 3 heart Eastern, but health is fine for Bayer going into anti-fairy skip.
It's interesting. JD is not picking up that heart there.
Mm-hmm.
This will put him. Assuming he doesn't pick up another heart somewhere else. Let's put him in Oko. Okay, he picks that one up. Interesting. I think that heart is slower to pick up.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know why they go for that one. Yeah, I found the first heart pot to be like a cost of 3 frames, or if that, just based on my own movement. Okay. Gifted with Greenie's screen and successful bow and arrow shot for Buyer.
I'm guessing you know the world record route decently well enough. How many arrow drops are we looking to get here?
Well, I don't know that specifically, but I do know we want arrows because we need to use a fake flipper later where we are using our arrows. And the arrow routing is challenging throughout. So we want, we get a drop in Eastern, hopefully. I'm not sure what happens if we don't get it.
We got the best arrow RNG, the drop RNG there on Buyer's side, so that was very nice.
That's great. Yeah, smooth segment, and on Buyer splits, it shows a gold. Now he's using a splits where he has 1 of 3 runs completed. So not sure what the splits indicate, but we'll see. Oh yeah. So one thing I was wondering about this run is, will we see silver arrows? And we do see silvers on Mr. Buyer splits, so we could see that soon. That setup might happen.
Yeah, the only reason I said world record route is because the world record gets the bottle and does that instead of Requiem basement clip. Malmo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Flippers collection is definitely something that could be a bit of a divergence. We'll see. Yeah.
Is it not faster to do like a fake flipper there by the witch hut?
I wish, but that has been tested to be slower.
Ah, crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like JD got luckier with the money drops from Eastern, and so he had to pick up 1 chest in the back of Slaughter Closet of money. Okay.
Okay, that's good. We used 2 arrows, but that's fine. JD quickly got in position. Okay. All right, so Buyer's collecting mirror now, and that will speed up escape considerably. And before we get to escape, we'll see if he goes for silver arrows. Not sure if JD will go for that, though.
This looks like silvers to me.
Yep, Buyer's doing a screen wrap. If he were not getting the silver arrows, he would be going directly into Spectacle Rock Cave to get into Palace of Darkness, but that's not where we're going.
That's not the correct menu direction.
So, he misplaces a mirror portal, not by accident, but rather he's misplacing a mirror. How do I say this? Let's use a different word. It's sort of an offset mirror portal glitch. So when he places the mirror portal, it is not going to be placed on Death Mountain. It's being placed in the courtyard of the castle. So when he gets back to the castle, it will be right where he wants to be able to clip into Pyramid Fairy.
I guess the long and short of it is, because we do the wrap from the bottom to the top of the mountain, the game still makes our position on the overworld lower when we go down, but like where Link is still on top of the mountain. His coordinates are different, and the game uses the coordinates when determining where that mirror portal gets set.
Yeah, so JD is first into well, not first, but it's JD's time to go into Spectacle Rock already.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Okay,
that was pretty annoying.
He only has one shot left of this if he doesn't get hit. Oh, this Moldorm is being such a pain.
Yeah. So they are gonna eyeball the pixel here. Looks okay to me. There we go. There's a heart here. Will they get it? Yes. Meanwhile, Mr. Buyer is doing bomb jump. We get more time in cave state, in a state where sprites are despawned. Buyer is picking up.
That's not what he wanted, I don't think.
Oh, they jumped off for no reason, I suppose, or too early.
Yeah.
So here we go. This is a use of a bottle to stop Link's movement on the stairs, and spin speed is activated. Uh-oh. Fire's missing some rupees. So we need the spin speed state after we teleport to get farther into the railing. And then we have to do some zigzags on the railing to get into position where we can then bomb ourselves into a position where we can then dash into a position where we can walk into the portal area, into the out of bounds location. And Mr. Buyer will then unlock the door, like you talked about earlier. And we're seeing minute movements where we can move 1 or 2 frames. Ooh, JD, no!
Oh, well, he can still bomb jump again, I guess.
So this becomes a bit of trouble. They need 2 hearts.
Oh, okay. Never mind, you can't.
Yeah. So in these diagonal movements that we're seeing from Mr. Buyer, some of them are 2 frames, and that's okay. He can go 1 or 2 frames. But on this movement, where we need to move to the right and then get a deboost, we can only move 1 frame. And he's got it. So he opens the door. He's also running into spikes, and this is purposeful because he gets to maintain the mirror portal, which he'll be returning to.
Yeah, because we're still in a cave, the game will put us in a save and quit spot, so to speak, once we respawn. And since we have, I don't know why it puts us in sync necessarily, but that's where it puts us. speed, or the spin speed out of the potion usage.
And Buyer clipped into pyramid. It looked like it took 2 tries to get the pyramid position. I'm not sure why. The alignment when Link walks into it needs to be right. I'm not sure if that was the issue or what happened, but they're fine. After this wrap, the screen is still sort of offset, and Buyer needs to know how to dash into escape. But once we enter escape, we're fine.
Looks like JD's got the teleport is working on clipping into a certain spot in the rail.
Yeah, and sometimes we see after Link goes left, we see Link going to the right a bit, and if we go too far, it's okay. We can return to the left and try again. Good progress. We've got the bomb. We get a hammer buffer. That's good. And we're in.
Nice. All right. 2 trips to pod each. Thank goodness.
Mm-hmm. We're seeing a hammer escape from Mr. Buyer. We get the boomerang here, which is used only in Ganon's tower.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. I guess if you don't get Cave State Big Key, then you don't even do Boom Hera or anything like that.
Right.
But that boomerang, is definitely worth it because of how much time it'll save in those couple rooms for the 2 seconds it takes to get the boomerang.
Yeah. Waiting for... Well, it's not that bad if you just use Samaria and Ganon's tower, but it's just optimal to have the boomerang. Not to mention the magic usage cost.
Mm-hmm. It is, however, a bit tight to try and use Samaria in the second switch room. There's a pretty specific pixel
Yeah.
that you need to place the block on, and that's for it to be optimal. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you do the slower method, which takes more time.
Yeah. More walking around. All right, we saw the mirror to the sanctuary. That's the big skip that we are given with the mirror.
Oh yeah, you also may have noticed he didn't even kill Ball and Chain.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
You'll see the same here from JD.
There we go. It's a mini boss. It's okay to skip it.
I was going to say, the reason why we can do that, I forget if you already said this, but getting that big key that we got in Cave State and Pod actually also gives us Hyrule Castle, Desert, and Herabigs, which is why we can now open this door that Buyer just opened as well, without having to go actually get the Herabig key.
Right. And we also see a nice frame saver from JD grabbing the torch, and now the game doesn't have to draw Link's shield, which saves frames during text boxes.
Yeah, true. Malmo brings up another good point, is that getting that big key in Cave State is also what gives us, like I said, a Hyrule Castle big key, which is actually in itself what's called a Cave State big key. It's different from the big key we picked up in Cave State.
Yeah, I remember when Malmo was trying to explain this to me while we were on commentary together, and I couldn't comprehend what she was saying. It was great.
To be more clear about it, we pick up the Pod Big Key in Cave State, which gives, for whatever reason, that one gives us Hyrule Castle, Hera, and Desert Bigs. And Hyrule Castle is what is known as a cave state big key, which allows us to open big key doors in cave state.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Oh yeah, cause so next thing you just saw there by our side was fake clippers. We had to use a bunch of arrows and bombs. We also lamped 3 times in a direction that was not right, east, I should say, and that allowed us to overload the Ancilla slots to delete the splash, so we don't respawn at our starting point on a screen, so we could swim without flippers.
Yeah, solid stuff from Mr. Buyer. And yeah, his resources are really good too. We saw him pick up drop-down arrows, even with his high arrow count. So he's got more arrows than I would ever expect at this point in the run.
Yeah, he even has silver, so it's like doubly good.
It is. Oh no!
That's rough.
Yeah, that's costly. I almost thought we were not gonna jump on that Zazak, even though I saw how dangerous it was. I thought we would miss it.
Okay, well, not only does that lose us time from dying, we later, after we beat the boss, we will have to mirror an extra time on the overworld. For whatever reason, because we have not killed Aga 1 yet, whenever we are in Dark World and die inside of a dungeon, the game reverts the state back to Light World. But we are in a Dark World dungeon, which is not quite correct in terms of what the game is thinking. So when we leave, everything is Light World with like the music and the, I guess it thinks we're in Light World, but the screen is still a Dark World screen. It'll fix itself, quote unquote, once we screen transition. It'll revert back to Light World state entirely. But we can stop that from happening by mirroring. It is a time loss, all the same. We actually do need to correct it though on purpose because we are forced to do so later in certain splits.
Yeah.
This is just an accidental. Oh well, that is a result of a death that we actually need to fix it to avoid more time loss.
Meanwhile, JD's putting their net to use and has ferry in case of emergency.
Oh, I missed that, yeah.
Yeah, they were able to farm the bushes outside the Dark World portal.
So Sick Kid does exist in Rain State?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just figured that since the Smiths don't exist in Rain State, that some other NPCs probably just don't exist either. I don't know.
Yeah, the interiors are different, essentially.
Mm.
There is some funky business with how the sprites are handled indoors. Or maybe even only the Smith is different. But otherwise, interiors are normal.
I see.
So, yeah. Yeah, it just kind of the Smith sprite is weird because it changes depending on its world, from frog to a dwarf. So, or I don't know. It's hard to explain. But basically, if you go to the Smith's house in fake Light World, you will find the hopping frog, which is a hopping jerkin.
Wow, because it doesn't have a good sprite for it or something?
Yeah, you're able to grab it and rescue it and return it back to its own house. Other than that, interiors are normal.
How would you even get fake Light World over on that screen?
It's a staple of the Defeat Ganon category. What you do is you go into Dark World, you go into Ganon's tower, and then you exit out of the Batcave. That means you start in the Dark World, you exit out of Batcave, which is a Light World screen. So you're in fake Light World.
Gotcha. Also, that was a little close there on by your side. He would have died if he had taken one more hit there. But he did not, thankfully. And it's such an annoying place to die, too, because that makes the fight harder upon refight. It is way easier to fight blind your first time into the boss arena with the maiden in tow. Ask every speedrunner, they will agree with you. Wait, someone needs to come up with a refight script.
Right. Yeah. Silvers. For Master Sword and for Fighter Sword.
Oh yeah, good point. Sword those two swords have differing lengths.
They have different lengths, and there's a heart route if you want to get sword beams. You can pick up 3 heart pots on the way back, depending.
Uh-oh, we got off script here too.
Uh-oh.
I think, doesn't he have a fairy?
He does. They do have a fairy, yeah. They do.
Okay.
Didn't need it. Didn't need to use it.
I meant to look a second ago, but we got the smith and mirrored to get the same time, essentially. Did Buyer go for Frog Door, or did he do just free double quick warp? Or free, yeah.
Let me check.
Double quick warp? Okay, thanks, Malmo.
Yeah.
So there's a, so what you do is you go to the spot where the smith is, you pick him up first, and then you go from the second rock from the top. You make sure you pick up the second rock from the top, obviously. That's the one you always pick up anyway. You pick that one up, and you go straight to the right, mash your face into the side of the slope where you'll stop, and then just mirror there. That's a quick warp. And then when you leave the library after you get the book, you dash into that portal, and that also puts you on a quick warp pixel.
I love that it's a dash, because the dash charge is a cost of 30 frames, but the quick warp is a savings of 34.
Yeah. There is a little bit of walking, so I mean, obviously the dash will save like a couple frames over walking.
Yes. But all in all, it's a frame saver. So, good route.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention the initial quick warp there, you get around 40 frames, probably, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we didn't quite pull the statue high enough. Had to redo it. See, this next 5 minutes from whenever you get the smith turned in is, I guess, maybe a little less than 5 minutes, but it's pretty much the same as the RMG category where we go to Skullwoods, get Fire Rod, kill the boss. There's a whole lot to talk about here. Your health is a lot lower. I think at least 2 hearts slower, depending on if you get Sank Heart.
Did you say NMG?
I did say NMG.
Did you know there's an NMG mentor tournament or a mentor program happening?
Oh, that's right. Can we promote that here? Is that okay?
Yeah, I'd give it a shout out just because it's happening. And I know they want people to sign up. So sign-ups are happening. And it's hosted by ZSR. So,
oh, good. There you go.
Check out the ZSR Discord.
Oh yeah, you were even the one that announced it. Checks in the vanilla Discord.
Yeah, and there's a video now that has a collection of silly clips. So some stuff that Kane, Fricker, and Pops produced.
Oh, nice. Is there like a command in chat that we could run already, or not yet?
I'm not aware of a command yet at this point.
Oh, Trez says he's on it.
Let's go.
While we said, while we're not playing, while this race right here isn't NMG, it is still Link to the Past speedrunning, and so if you want to learn how to play speedrun this game and become better at it, please enter the mentor tournament, or the mentor program, excuse me.
Okay. Moth is down for Mr. Buyer. Always a scary boss in this, since you can see we have 7 hearts max. But it does not slow Mr. Buyer down at all.
Yeah, I mean, this route, we go into the dungeon with 6 hearts, because we don't kill Helmosaur in other routes of this category. We don't kill Helmosaur. I'm sorry, this route specifically we don't. Other routes do.
Right.
So you come in with 6 hearts, and because we do a bomb jump, and we fall after the bomb jump to be optimal and walk through that rope on the outside, we have 4 hearts entering the back, unless you decide to mirror out or bonk to save health. There we go. There's your command in chat. Look at that. Thank you, Trez. Nice magic drop there from JD. It's a less optimal room, but he might break even with that full magic.
Yo, very good Hera pot for Mr. Buyer.
Was that first try? Nice.
Yeah.
It's always a game of whether or how fast you get that trick. Ooh, that was close. Okay, JD was down to one 2-heart hit left, but he survived.
Good Hera for Buyer. He just ran away from Moldorm for a second or two, but otherwise it was optimal.
Yep. Man, I thought it would be worth it to pull out your sword there on that hook speed.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, so we grab the Ether Medallion since we're right there, and we are going to Mire next anyway, so we do need that. So we do another screen wrap, and then we come down the mountain again in Dark World, and go over the far left side of the screen to do a super jump. Hook speed off the side, go over to the far bottom left, and then we dash off. And we're gonna fall a whole lot, which is why we call it the super jump. This is legitimately pushing Link way down the overworld screen in Dark World. Oh no. Okay, well, that's actually not that big of a time loss, but it still stinks. JD got stuck in the pot there. If you don't do the right movements upon hooking into the pot, you will soft lock.
Nice scroll for Buyer. Walking and using Ether results in this scroll. It's a camera correction.
Actually, is it a hard lock? Can you not save and quit out of that?
I think you can save and quit.
Okay.
So I don't know why they didn't save and quit. Yeah, so in this case, we saw JD tap left before going up, and we didn't see that last time. Not sure why. So that was the difference.
I find it sometimes weird because I will do it and I'll just like fiddle. I'll like accidentally fat finger some other directional inputs on the D-pad, and I'll still be fine because I reacted fast enough to keep doing more inputs. If you're too slow, you'll just get stuck. Oh no. This is not a good Hera for JD.
Yeah, the holes, I don't know the technical reason. I don't know the reasons, and I don't really know the frame window where they stuck you, basically. Yeah. So, like you said, there's some wiggle room.
Oh my god, he almost fell in the middle hole again. Okay.
Nice hookshot strat for iframes. And Moldorm's down. $36.52 torches for Mr. Buyer. But there's still much more game left.
Yeah. People usually spout their torch times in NMG. And they are all like an hour and 3 minutes, some change or more. But we are here way earlier in this category.
Yep.
The Mire dungeon itself in this route is pretty much the same as NMG. We go get the big key, go get the cane. We don't do any in dungeon clips or anything like that. And in the older route, we did do some in dungeon clips because we got the hook shot in this dungeon.
Right. We entered a sort of a mega dungeon of mire to Hera to swamp. And it was a lot of fun, but it's just not optimal anymore.
Yep, since fake clippers got discovered, it is faster to get the hook shot that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Buyer, I'm not sure. He probably wanted to kill the Wizrobe and try for a...
Opt to use some silvers for a little bit of safety.
Oh, yeah. That is a good thing.
Just gotta set up Spooky again.
When that goes wrong, you have to sort of...
You're just trying not to take more damage from the fireballs that are shooting at you. Interesting use to use the fire rod there on that switch. I feel like you would want to save one for if you mess up that fire rod dash.
Yeah.
Pulling the silvers out. He cannot take an eyeball hit here or else he will die, but he is fine.
We had an important dodge that just happened, and Vitreous is down.
And that is the power of silver arrows in a glitch category like this, where it's easier to get silvers it can be a little bit more time/cost effective to get them. It is still optimally slower to get them. But for a race scenario, you could appreciate it for its safety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found that the cost is slower by about 30 seconds. Okay, so what's next for Mr. Buyer? It looks like it's desert, so this is the standard route still. Where we mirror on the right side, we get a free quick warp, then we're into the back of desert. We have that cave state big key. We get to use it again.
Ooh, doing the RMG strat there in that room, you can actually beam that bottom left popo from the top and be in better position to deal with the last two popos. A safer strat.
Yeah. Speaking of safer strat, JD does not go for spike key and instead opts for the
lobby key?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh. It's also interesting right there that he held his sword out and then used the hook shot. I think that's unnecessary. You can just hold down right out of that door because it shuts behind you. And just hook shot.
Yeah. JD probably just goes slower just to get the position that they want. It's a large frame rate window, but that's my guess.
That is an interesting dash down path that Bayer took there, but it works. He went around the heart piece. Look at that guard. That was another scary moment, technically.
Yes. Why was it scary?
If you remember way back in the early part of this race, they did a similar type of wrap where they went to Eastern from Kakariko. The same principle applies there. If you go right at all, you will hard lock.
Exactly. And revealing guards can be a pain too, because they can knock you past the door and stuff like that.
Yep, exactly, Malmo. That is a... Oh my goodness, JD. Okay, well this is going to be a very slow fight. He does have a fairy, I guess. Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He made the most of it.
Good.
On Mr. Bayer's side, we did our first mirror wrap of the run.
Yeah.
We clipped up to Hera. We go into Hera to correct the camera, come to get to the top of the mountain faster, go in the portal. We do a boots clip into the slope to our right, and then we climb that slope by doing some series of what we call half circle backs. We do it in a certain way that it puts us at a certain position at the top of the slope that we get. We jump off at a very specific vertical position. When we go to the next screen to the right, we hop back left and tap left and Y on the same frame to mirror wrap with the mirror equipped. And then when we transition back to the right, it puts us right above Laser Bridge and we can hop up onto that ledge.
Yeah, entering any other entrance other than the front makes this dungeon a lot faster.
Yes. Wow, nice magic and fairy.
Sick. There's the beam strat.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do. In that desert room.
Oh, that's a thing.
That guy's a little annoying if you're trying to go fast.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that dash killed that mini Helma just then.
Yeah,
That was interesting.
that does not look consistent. Of course, if the Helma is facing Link, it's not gonna take damage from the dash. At least not damage in a way that will destroy it.
Yeah. There is a strat in the Requiem route. Actually, maybe technically this one too. We can take advantage of where we dash into a mini Helma and then immediately hit it with some other attack that pierces through its mask to actually kill it. And it's not because that the other attack that pierces the mask does enough damage. It's that it pierces through, but it takes on the value of the previous sword. Or I just dash with the tempered sword.
Yep. All right, so here we have divergence, like real divergence between our runners. So here we go. We're going to touch the cactus.
Oh my gosh, what is this? This is cool.
This is a setup for the Zora's Domain map wrap. So JD will be getting flippers here. And this bomb clip requires a little bit of wiggling after getting the D-boost. And then, there we go.
Okay, I had heard legends of this clip, but I just keep forgetting what it looks like, so it's good to see it again. Oh, we're going for a couple swims. It's a little slow, but we made it.
We did make it, and now big moment for Mr. Buyer. Do we get the Louis hop? Yes, we do.
Yeah, that one, for the longest time, that hop I thought was just luck, but no, it actually, it involves nudging against the ladder on the right side of it, and then hopping during the nudging period.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm guessing, yeah, JD must be getting Ice Rod after Ice then.
I think so. That's one of the advantages of, like, this route, where you get the flippers, then you do Swamp and Ice later. Not later, but earlier than the optimal route, because you don't need the Ice Rod immediately like Mr. Buyer did.
It's interesting to me that Buyer is waiting on going back to pod until like the end. Is there a reason for that?
Oh, I'm not 100% sure, but gosh, I forgot it. I lost it. I think there's a reason. There is a reason, but I forgot what it is. There are considerations in this route. Well, geez, no, I don't know. I'm thinking of the Requiem route. That one you need to watch your magic. Yeah, I'm not really sure.
All right, well, JD is actually making his second trip back to pod. He's actually not doing the optional basement clip that lets you get to the boss faster
that's
if you do
right.
it well enough.
Yeah, it's essentially a shortcut. So if you do the basement clip well, which you can do over and over if you need to using Samaria, it saves something like 15 to 20 seconds. But
that's very, very, very considerable.
yeah, but it's like it's a combination of having the ability and practice to get it done well, plus consistently. So missing buffers just drains your time. So it's very reasonable to just skip the second basement clip.
I see.
Okay, we've got Tempered Fight, easy peasy, and Helma is down. And for Mr. Buyer, we have an Argus fight.
He was trying to do the poke dashes. He wasn't quite getting them though.
One cycle overall.
Yeah, one and 2/3 cycle.
Mm-hmm. Rounding down.
And he remembers to not menu away from hookshot. We actually want to keep hookshot equipped after this dungeon in this category. Because we got one more mirror wrap that we want to do. We do 2 mirror wraps in this run, and this is the second one. This is an optional one. It is 6, I think it's like at least 8 seconds faster. And just going to Ice Palace normally.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to do it fast and well for it to save 8 seconds.
Yeah, it's great. To me, it's kind of crazy how popular this mirror wrap is. We very rarely see people swim, and it's just a shortcut. But it's like it's not really that hard. It's just a matter of doing it fast and without putting yourself in danger. And you know,
Ooh, that's a bit of a high dash. We didn't want to go too high there. It's a little slow, but
yeah,
he's all right. He's a little low there on that screen entry. That
Yeah.
looks decent. There you go.
there we go.
And that's another. Right there is a little bit of a scary portion of this mirror wrap. If we go too high there after mirror wrapping, we will hard lock.
Yeah.
And then upon entering a dungeon, we get to do a nice lobby clip to save a considerable amount of time. So we do it.
Yeah. Ice clip.
I say ice lobby clip. I guess it's just there's only one clip you do an ice, therefore ice clip.
Mm-hmm. Ignore the clipping that's occurring right now.
Oh, okay.
Ice clip, not to be confused with ice thing.
Ice thing.
Yep.
Buyer had a nice ice thing through that tile wide rail.
Yeah.
Oh, Malmo actually bring up a
Oh, that's
good
funny.
reason maybe to you just go ahead and swim. You will only save 5 seconds, or no, 4 seconds, I guess, if you try and do the mirror wrap. Actually, you have to menu to mirror after
meaning,
Argus.
Yeah, so you lose the time of doing spin speed rather than hook strats. Well, you can still hook speed out of there, I guess. But then you lose the ability to use hook on the next screen. Hold stair fight for Mr. Buyer. He
Nice.
takes a good fight. He took just one ice block hit. And Argus for JD. Nice slow movements from Argus, making one cycle. Yeah, a 1.0 cycle. That's good. A 1 and 0/3 fight. Both runners and cutscenes. All right, so all the dungeons other than towers, where Aghanim lurks, are done for Mr. Buyer. So now, he's got to do Ganon's Tower and Aghanim's Tower.
Did he already beat Helma?
Oh. Yeah. What is the deal with that? I don't think
He must do Helma after Aga Tower or something.
Yeah, he does.
What the heck?
So there is I don't know the reason, but if you do put Palace of Darkness after Aga Tower, you can just dash in basically and pay Kiki.
Okay.
So I was gonna bring it up, but yeah, we might as well just spoil it. We'll see pod after Aga Tower. Yeah, Buyer has timed this. I just don't fully understand it.
I don't either.
But
That's
it
why
exists.
I'm questioning it like crazy.
Yeah. Looks good. We've got a good icebreaker for JD, and they also get Big Key. So we'll see a costume change in a minute.
Yeah, Blue Mail's an easy pickup in this category. It only loses like 6 seconds.
Here we go. Let's see this. Nice.
Oh,
We get a good 5. Knights down.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that strat. Very cool.
It would have been cooler if he could manage to get the last one easily.
Mm-hmm. That's the hardest one.
We're doing heart neutral.
Yeah. Oop. I would encourage Mr. Buyer to look at silver strats that don't involve facing down and shooting down. Because you can shoot left fairly easily. It's just a little different.
Well, I thought it was harder because you didn't have mirror shield to block the mimic shots.
Yeah, it is, but it's not. It's really not a big deal. Some of the shots that are fired to the right are blocked by the top wall.
Oh,
So
that's weird.
If you position the mimic high up on the wall, it can't really fire at you. It gets blocked.
I did not know that. Or
Yeah, it's kind of silly.
maybe I knew it, I guess, but I just never thought about it being useful.
Mm-hmm. It's just something to look at. It's a small thing. Fire wants to finish with 8 bombs. Why is that, Malmo?
Why is that? Yeah, I'm not following.
No idea. Okay, well, we'll find out. Okay, so here's a swimmy G for JD. They're using slope swimming here, and there we go. We get a transition where Link is able to hop over the broken transition and hop down into right in front of the cave. Yeah, I missed him picking up 3 bombs. But, yeah, we'll see. So there we go. We get that nice swamped ice palace route. I guess it's not the Dark World sweep of yore, where it's mired swamp ice. We don't get to see that today, but JD does get to end with Turtle Rock before going to GT.
Well, Buyer got rid of his bombs, so clearly he didn't want bombs.
Okay, there we go. Oh, I missed that. Yeah, down to 0. All right,
Maybe.
Nice. Yeah. This is a hard fight, so let's see how he reacts to these patterns.
Okay, well, he didn't give him luck there, so no triple, and or there.
Yeah, tough to deal with.
This should be it right here.
Ooh, close, but not a problem. We got the 4th cycle. Oh, there we go. Nice clipe for Mr. Buyer. Do we get... Yep, we get the despawn, so we get to save time here.
I'm still very bad at that.
Yeah, well, you're new to it.
I did finally get it one time and got a tiny bit of time save out of it.
Yeah. We get to save up to 6 seconds or so. If it goes well.
Hey, that's so much time.
Yeah.
For a measly little clip like that.
Yeah. JD took a hit they didn't want to take, but that's okay. They'll be fine. Meanwhile, Mr. Buyer has a Tempered Sword Aga Tower climb. Once in Aga Tower, we don't really get to do any fun or interesting glitches. There is an option where we could do Stairmaster and skip a few screens, but no one really does that ever.
I mean, you need to get a potion somewhere.
You need to get a potion, yeah. And the cost of getting going shopping is about a break even.
That magic there could not have been worth to get with his health, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
If he got a fairy drop from the prize pack guards, then I can see it, but he didn't.
Yeah. So Mr. Buyer looks ahead. Nice hook speed.
I mean, to his credit, I think he is ahead.
To his credit, he probably is ahead, but he looks farther ahead than he really is.
Sure.
Based on having to do a dungeon, which in his splits is called Kiki Hop, because we will see a hopping Kiki. Unlike in JD's route. We have the RNG boss. Nothing really to do here except hope that we don't lose time to RNG. What's next week? Yeah, there is a marathon run. Requiem is running.
That's cool. Yeah. I'll try to... Well, when is the marathon?
It's on a Saturday.
So, a week from today?
Yeah, it should be a week from today.
Oh, then I probably can't watch it. If it's during the day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I lost count, but it seemed to be, something like 3 blue balls.
Yeah, I wasn't looking.
It
wasn't 0.
Yeah, it wasn't 0. It was a non-zero number.
Well, he's losing time from the Aga fight. I venture to say he probably lost. It was got at least 2.
Let me see here. Yeah, it was 3.
Okay. So we're gonna, I guess, sort of run to pod, but we're doing some sort of clip.
Oh yeah, I love this route. Yeah.
What in the world? Okay.
It's a nice shortcut. When I first learned overworld glitches in 2018, I learned that. It's one of the shortcuts you can do. That clip is called Kiki Hop. Well, here's Kiki's hopping. A mini hop.
Oh, okay. So Buyer has a split. It says Kiki Hop on it. Maybe that's what it's referring to then.
Yeah.
Interesting. JD picking up those arrows. He had 11. He was probably fine. Okay, so neither of the runners doing the optional second basement clip. So
makes sense.
We opted to only do the one fast thing regarding basement clip.
Yeah. That's the important one.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, into the basement for Mr. Buyer. Different strat. Oh, yeah. He'll just use sword beams. That makes sense.
Yeah. That's how you save a menu?
Yep.
Oh, this room didn't quite go like we wanted it to.
Yeah.
Oh no, now our beams are hurting us if we don't use hammer.
That's right. Beams are hurting us. Oh, interesting strat. JD goes for a long bow shot at the beginning of G2. I've never seen that.
Really? Oh, okay. I used to do that, but then I realized it wasn't so good.
Oh, okay. Huh. Where did you learn that?
For Rando, I think.
Huh. Do you know why you learned that? Why people were doing that?
I'm not entirely sure. Just they could I guess they were trying to not deal with the far left Stalfos RNG by getting an arrow shot.
Okay. Yeah, that's funny. That completely passed me by. I never noticed that.
Okay, so now we have every dungeon done by your side.
Yeah. And yeah, it was. I mean, there's so much that's different about going to pod and paying Kiki, but imagine that. Imagine that he had to go to pod and do Kiki skip again. He would have to mirror back to the light world after Aga 2 and Aga 1. And then he would have to do Kiki skip and then mirror to get back into real Dark World, which is normally what we do. It's just there's so much mirroring involved that just going to pay Kiki at that point is faster.
I see. Are we gonna do this room in time on JD? Okay, good. Yeah, he was actually somewhat close to not making that.
Huh.
He took a fall at the beginning of his torch lighting process.
Meanwhile, Mr. Buyer is at Ganon. He's able to just save and quit from the Dark World, and then he's on the pyramid. So, time for the Ganon fight. Oh no!
Oh.
That was a surprising hit. It looked like maybe Mr. Buyer tapped right into Ganon before getting the charge. That's okay. We'll try again.
Well, if his PB, I actually don't know if this is PB. I think it may just be his route PB. He's not gonna route PB today.
Right.
I did see that, Malmo. That was interesting.
Yeah, it looked like a scam.
Oh, speaking of scam, missing
Yeah.
all three of those shots on Aga. Blowing up on their side.
Ganon is down, so GG, Mr. Buyer. I got 2s down for JD. They are going for Clipe out, and they get it.
Oh, that looks so funky.
Yeah. In particular, the dash up. Both Buyer and JD go for the dash up. That's different than the way I've learned it, so it's hard for me to know whether. No, I mean, I don't know. It looks fine, but it's different.
Second a mirror bonk, yeah.
That was a little high up. Okay. There we go. We're on Fire Rod. Yeah. So we'll see if Fire Rod strats. We typically see Fire Rod or Hookshot strats in Aga Tower. So you pick one item to use.
Well, while JD is in Aga Tower, we could probably go ahead and pull Buyer into the interview room if we want.
GG, Mr. Buyer. Congrats on the race win.
Yeah, GG's.
So, your splits show a 1:14:36 red at the end. So, was this your route splits?
Yeah, these are route splits. I made these. When did I practice? Thursday. I made these on Thursday.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah. My previous one, 113 something. It's like 113.19 or something like that. No, 113. I think it's 50s somewhere. So this is within a minute of it, which I was really happy with.
Yeah. Had some green in there. So, can you help us understand the Kiki Hop split? I love it, but is there any advantage?
Okay, not really technically, but it's a lot closer than I expected it to be. So the alternative to this route is just like having like an isolated saving quit to go to pod. So that whole sequence is you can just put anywhere basically. And so you'd have to that involves Kiki skip and then mirror correcting pick Dark World and then just going into pod and doing it normally. But I found that if you go from Pyramid and like hook speed, take that route over, hey Kiki instead, you don't have to fix fake Dark World. So it actually like I think like the saving the normal route loses like more time or like spends more time doing stuff than I expected. So I think the time difference ends up being about 5 seconds, which I would have expected it to be like 3 times that amount, at least. But that doesn't account that's only like purely comparing the pod entries. There's a bunch of random other stuff that is involved. You have to get more money in the beginning, which costs in the Kiki Hop pod. You have beams because you're coming from Aga Tower, which is nice. So you save beams in that one room with the switch, and also in theory on refill, but I don't know how much.
Mm-hmm.
I got hit twice on Helma, so the refill save wasn't as good as I wanted it to be.
Yeah, makes sense.
So yeah, there's a bunch of random stuff.
Malmo saying born of a run where she forgot to do pod.
Yeah, exactly. So Mr. Buyer wanted to know the optimal route from that point.
Yeah, I think the context was Malmo was trying to figure out when to put in pod. I think she save and quit after GT did pod and then flipped to Aga Tower, but I think she realized after that that doing Aga Tower first, saving and quitting, and then Kiki skipping into pod, then saving and quitting directly back to Pyramid would have been faster. And then I joked that maybe the play is to just walk to pod entrance, and when I tested it, it actually ended up being really close. So I decided to run it for fun.
Yeah. Right. So then you had an unfortunate death at Ganon. I misspoke potentially, saying that you went too far to the right, but maybe you went too far down.
I think I didn't like back out enough after the dash poke. When I was doing the dash pokes, it felt really tight. I was very close to Ganon, which is not usually how close I am to Ganon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like that's another benefit, but also a risk of this route is that because you're moving the refill from like you're in theory saving refill on pod, but since there is no refill after Ganon, you're in theory saving that time since you're killing a boss that you like have less health on that you wouldn't otherwise have. Kind of hard to explain. Because like you're like swapping the refill of Pod and Ganon, but Ganon doesn't have a refill, so
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But also the risk is you're at 8th health and you get one shot by touching him.
Yep.
And GG's to JD Silvergun for wrapping up this race.
GG's.
Wrapping up this monthly.
Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle in some splits for JD, but they made it through without any huge disasters. They had a Hera pot soft lock that was pretty annoying, but they fixed it next time. So there are some issues like that.
Yeah. He says he hasn't run this in a while, I think, so.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't run a category specifically in a while, you probably will have rust.
And I wonder if they want to join for an interview. Oh yeah, they do. Okay, cool. And yeah, any other thoughts, Mr. Byer, on this race?
Yeah. So I ran like a Kiki hop route 2 months ago as well, and that one I just kind of added to like rec route. But this time I wanted to add silvers, because one thing that happens is that after you saving quick from Pod, it auto menus you to bow.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to like take advantage of that. But silvers is kind of like stupid with rec route, so I had to go with original basement clip route.
Why is it stupid?
Because like you want to death warp out of Cave State Pod, and in rec route you're stopping at hammer, and it's a lot.
Oh yeah.
Death warp.
Right.
This one it's nice because you have spikes, and it's very conveniently placed.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Meanwhile, nothing else in the dungeon can hurt you.
So yeah, in theory, this is the quote-unquote optimal Kiki hop route.
I gotcha. That's right. And we are joined by JD. GG's. And are you there?
You are muted if you were trying to talk.
Hello?
Hello. We can hear you.
Thanks for the GG.
And the run was a bit of a struggle for you, but you pulled through. No huge disasters. What are your thoughts on the race?
I mean, practicing like 10 minutes in the past 2 weeks. I mean, it could have been worse.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got. Because I haven't seen you streaming too much. So I can imagine that your practice was a little short for this month.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't planning to do this, but I just happened to notice that it's the first of the month and it's also Saturday. I wonder if they're still doing this. So I saw that it was, and I turned on the practice hack, and I did like one citrus, one basement clip, like one dash citrus, one fake clippers, one GT climb, and then it was time. Then that was all the time I had to practice.
Excellent. And always good to see a bit of divergence, and that happened, of course, with desert into flippers. So, how set are you on your route at this point? Are you ever going to change it?
Oh, for my PB attempts, I had been doing the Yuzuhara route, completely, but I like this route better for racing because it doesn't do the ice rod wrap, and my PB also is in this route. But like it's a few seconds faster, even though it's a slower route. It could just happen to be that way that I got the PB on this route, and I haven't beat it yet. But yeah, I like totally didn't know where I was going in this run. Like when I was going to get the Smith, like I had like hundo muscle memory. I was like going to hop down to the right, and then I was like, no, we're going left. Like I don't know, just thinking like, yeah, I really haven't looked at this category since League ended. Well, I did do that long grind, like to try to PB push, but I decided it wasn't worth the stress.
Sure.
No, I enjoyed it more now that I'm not grinding it, even though the run, obviously could have went better, but, win some, lose some.
True. Well, it was a good race. And other questions, Relkin?
Have you guys run this category much since League? Like, how can you count on your hand the number of times that you've run this since League? Because that's how I feel, at least.
I did like stream for a couple of weeks of like PB attempts like after League, but then after that I took a break from the game. Then I like did some like 100% stuff. Then I've been very on and off with the game. With this category, yeah, I stopped practicing shortly after League ended. So yeah, pretty much like you're saying, yeah. GG to Mr. Beyer. Congrats on the win, as expected, honestly.
Yeah, GG. If I know there's a monthly coming up, I'll usually try to get it. Get a run in at least one day, ideally 2 or more, but it usually ends up being 1 because of my time. And wanting to show this route has kind of been my motivation since League, since I developed that after.
I guess for me, I'd say that League was definitely helpful in making me run the category more. So, does that mean we just need to have another 80 RMG League soon?
Yes.
Oh no.
But yeah, I don't think I have anything else. The next monthly will be exactly 4 weeks from now, since it's February, and so we got exactly 4 weeks of February.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, but that's all I've got to add. So we can wrap up here if we all want to.
Yeah, it was a fun race to watch. Good to commentate with you, Relkin. And
yeah,
I'll
same.
See you all next time. Maybe I'll race.
Maybe.
So, yeah, thanks for comms, guys.
Alrighty, thank you all so much for watching. Big shout outs to our 2 racers, to JD and to Mr. Beyer, and of course to Chex and Relkin. And well, thank you all so much for watching. Have a good one. And bye-bye.